There's highs that are super high and there's lows that are super low. And that is the life of being in business. That's the life of being ambitious and actually caring about the path that you're on. And so you guys have to understand that when you're going through this process of growth and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're working and you're doing this and doing that and doing this, and you feel like it's not moving, all right? And then you get pissed. Then you get frustrated. Then you get angry, okay? It's important that when you feel low that you continue to execute. It's important that when you don't feel like it, that you continue to do things that you did when you felt like it. And that's really the difference. And I've talked about this before, guys. It's discipline, right? It's doing the things that you need to do, that you know you need to do when you don't feel like doing it, and especially when you don't feel like doing it. Because the reality is most people are very productive on the highs. Most people are very good on the highs. But just being good on the highs isn't good enough. You know, you have to be good all the time. And so learning how to operate through the lows and learning how to know that the lows are going to end is a huge deal. Okay, I personally think, especially with people who have depression, that the reason we see a lot of suicide and the reason that we see people, commit suicide is because A, they don't know that they can help themselves, and B, when they get in these lows, they don't understand that it's cyclical. Okay. And for me, it's a little different. And for people who have depression, it's a little bit different. Okay. It's a real thing. It's not just a feeling or a mood. All right. And there's a difference, a big difference. But what I want people to know who whether you have depression, which, most of you don't have, or you're just going through the process, it's normal to have highs and lows, and they're always cyclical. You're going to have days that are great. You're going to have weeks that are great. You're going to have days that are bad. You're going to have weeks that are bad. And I just want you to know that that's normal, because I see so many people quitting, because that's what most people do. They get something, they get excited, they work hard, they do their thing, they do everything they can, and then they're like, fuck, it isn't working, and they quit. Okay? Or the minute 2 or 3 bad things happen, they quit and they change course. And you just have to learn as an entrepreneur or as an intrapreneur, somebody who lives by entrepreneur guidelines, that when things are frustrating, when things are fucking making you mad, when things are making you feel pissed, when you're getting to the point where you're like saying, fuck it, dude, that's when you've got to stick it through. That's when you've got to push even harder. That's when you've got to make sure that even at a minimum, you're still executing on the same path that you were when you're winning, because that's what's going to push you through to a breakthrough. That's what's going to push you through to the next level. Oftentimes I've found, and I've heard other people say this too, that when things get really fucking hard, when you're about to say, fuck it, I quit, I'm done with this shit, it's not for me, and change, if you just stick it through a little bit more, that's when the breakthroughs start to happen. That's when the good shit starts to happen. It's just most people don't have the grit, and they don't have the perseverance, and they don't have the mental capacity, and they don't have the perspective to know that if they keep pushing, if they keep working, if they stick through it at this point, that they are going to make a breakthrough. Okay. And that they're going to come out the other side more energized, more confident, because they went through that negative period with a new skill. Okay. And you have to think about grit and perseverance and your ability to endure, just like you would think of a muscle. The more you exercise those things, the stronger they become, the more able you become to push through hard situations and deal with anxiety and stress. Tony Robbins said something in his Personal Power CD set that I remember this back in literally in the 90s, dude. It stuck with me. He said, and this might not be the exact quote, but he said, your success is in direct proportion to how much uncertainty you can deal with. And there is no more true quote in life success than that. The more uncertainty that you can deal with, the more pressure that you can deal with, the more anxiety that you can deal with and handle, the more breakthroughs you're going to have, and you're going to come out the other side stronger. okay? And you have to look at it in phases. Let's say you have a level 1 low, all right? And you've got 100 people, just like on the last podcast or the one before that, we talked about the pyramid, how people fall off. All right, look, you got, let's say 10 levels to lows, all right? Because it's not the highs when people quit, it's the lows. You've got 10 levels to it, all right? On level 1, you got 100 people. It gets a little bit hard. 10 of them quit, all right? 90 people make it through to level 2 low. So they go up through another high and back through another low. They get to the level 2 low. 10 more people quit, all right? Now we've got 80 people that made it through to level 3 and so on and so on and so on. And what happens is the people who end up at level 10 lows, when they've gone through some massive shit over and over and over again, they understand, like myself, that it's cyclical and they know it's coming to an end. People lose hope and they lose ambition and they lose drive and they lose focus and they quit because they think that the low is permanent, and the low is not permanent. It's always cyclical. If you think about everything that we have to do in life, the seasons, all right, our lives, like the way things just naturally work, it's always on a cycle. And so is your emotions, and so is your frustrations. No one out there that you follow on the internet is winning all the fucking time. No one out there that you follow on the internet is just crushing it every fucking day. They might take a snap story and snap with a fucking smile on their face about how great shit is and throw the motherfucking phone in the fucking river 5 minutes after they fucking did it. You're seeing what they want you to see, and by you judging yourself against what they're putting out as marketing is very dangerous. I refuse to do that. If you see me not snap for a couple days, if you see me not post for a couple days, it's because I don't have anything productive to say, or I'm going through one of these fucking lows where, you know, I'm just not in the mood to give you guys anything. And, you know, as I get older, and I'm not at level 10 low, by the way, I might be like at level 6. I don't know where the fuck I am, but I know this, the more I go through it, the stronger I get. And what I want to encourage you guys to realize about yourselves is that if you're ambitious, if you want to be successful, which we all do, we all want to be fucking wealthy. We all want to fucking be in the best situations in lives that we can be in. You're going to have to learn how to deal with the shit that is going to be negative too. You're going to have to learn how to take negative energy that people give you and turn it into positive, productive action. You're going to have to learn how to expect that negativity is going to come to an end, or the low times are going to come to an end. You know, it would be nice if we could always be high and we could always be happy and we could always be winning. That's the fucking fairy tale that you're fed because it's sexy, right? You're not going to watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and see somebody on there bitching about how fucking hard it is to be fucking rich. They paint the picture and they smile and they say, oh, blah, 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 blah. This is awesome, blah, blah, blah. And you don't ever see them doing the actual work. You don't ever see them doing, what you've got to do, or going through the emotional cycles that you have to go through. And I guess the reason I want to talk to you guys about this is because, A, I just went through one of these lows myself last week. And B, I was asked about it today on the podcast about, the highs and lows of entrepreneurship and success. And I just want you guys to know, because I like to keep it real with you guys, that having those emotional highs and having those emotional lows are fucking normal. All right. Everybody who's out there that's killing it, everybody out there who's making money, everybody out there that you look up to goes through it, whether they want to tell you about it or not. And I know all those motherfuckers. So, even if they're not showing it, they're going through it. So know that it comes and goes, know that you're going to make it through, and know that when you make it through, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be more equipped, you're going to have a better understanding of the process as you go. People quit too soon. They give up too soon. They hear the quote, like Gary says, just if you fucking hate it, you should give up. And quit the job that you hate. And like I said on the last podcast, and I love Gary, dude. He's my friend. We talked about this, and we've talked about it a lot of times. Some things can be taken out of context. And when you hear that, I know there's a lot of people out there that the minute shit gets hard, or the minute they don't like something, they just quit. And guys, that's a sure way to never get anywhere. Because I can tell you right now, if I quit every single time I didn't like this fucking job, I would quit like 3 times a fucking week. But I love this. You know what I'm saying? So it's reality, okay? I I know that's not like the typical fire podcast that I give you guys on Friday, and I know it's a little bit different of a message, but I think it needs to be said. I think it needs to be noted, and I think you guys need to understand that having extreme highs and having extreme lows is part of fucking business. It's especially part of being an entrepreneur. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, the reason that you aren't getting paid as much as the entrepreneur is because you're not having to deal with those extreme fucking highs and lows. Because let me tell you something. You might have highs and lows within your little job, and that's fine. But the reason entrepreneurs get to make all the money is because they're having massive fucking highs and massive fucking lows, because the responsibility is extreme, especially when you get to like a level where you have hundreds of employees like I do. Like I make decisions on a daily basis that could affect whether or not some of their families fucking eat. So imagine that times like hundreds, and then imagine having to make decisions about those things. It can wear you out. But the good thing is, and I'm not complaining about that, I'm just explaining reality. The good thing is, by the time you get to that point, you're going to be equipped to handle it. All right. So if that's not proof that your ability to endure, your ability to handle stress, your ability to persevere and have grit grows with your experience, I don't know what is.